Hello there. What's going on, everyone? I am doing a lazy Sunday hangout with you guys. Trying to work in my new setup. I got the Clone Wars behind me now, finally. Finally on the shelf. But I wanted to do a live stream today to just talk a little bit about the number one most common comment that I've seen lately on my feed, on my comment sections, and all of my videos, and that is my pre-order hasn't shipped yet. How come you have your stuff when I don't have my stuff yet? So that's one of the things. I mean, because this is an issue that I feel like it kind of extends beyond just Armada with the Clone Wars. I feel like it's an issue that's all over the place right now. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk to you guys about a couple of interesting things and also showcase some other cool stuff. So one of the first things I want to show you guys before we get into that, because I want to give some people time to get in. We're going to talk about pre-orders. I want to show you guys something pretty cool. And what it is something I actually forgot to include in a recent video review I did, because people will send me things to review from time to time. And this is what I'm going to show you. It looks like half of a ping pong ball, right? No, what it is, it's got a little hex pattern in there. And this is a semi-translucent shield. And what it is this is actually from Order 66 miniatures, Order 66 designs that have done some, they do like a lot of Legion proxies and Legion style miniatures and some really dynamic poses and stuff like that. They did like the nunchuck Darth Maul. It also comes with like these little like blasty kind of bits that you can like to make it look, you can glue onto there to make it look like there's impacts. And so what is something like this for? Well, it's for any miniature that might have shields, but it goes particularly well with droidicas. If you wanted your droidicas to have a shield because they're shielded, right? You can kind of affix this to the base, and now your droidicas are shielded. And so they have those. That's some pretty cool stuff. I thought it was cool, and so I thought I would share that with you guys. You know, I always have the dark saber sitting right here. How many guys caught Mandalorian this current week? It's still the weekend, so maybe not everybody's seen it yet. I'm gonna pull Palpatine's saber over here. I'm gonna rock Palpatine's saber today to have this with me while we talk about pre-orders, delays, and other things. And yes, no spoilers in chat, please. But it was a good episode, wasn't it? How many of those shields will you need for your Armada ships? Well, we're gonna talk Armada. We definitely are. Force lightning. I love this thing. All right, so we got a couple of people in chat now. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys are having a good weekend, preparing for holiday celebrations or smaller maybe celebrations this year. We're having a lot more COVID breakouts, so it's a little harder to enjoy the holidays as much as we used to. But there's some good things. Armada Clone Wars just shipped. X-Wing Wave 8 is in some people's hands, is not in other people's hands. I got my X-Wing Wave 8. You may have seen some of those unboxings. There's Django. We just I think I published that one yesterday. All the rest, I think the last one is going up tomorrow. But we got some unboxings. We've got a lot of unboxings lately. It's actually been kind of hectic. But pre-orders haven't been coming out on time, right? Like my X-Wing Wave 8 stuff didn't ship until I think they shipped on the street date, so they came in almost a whole week late, a whole week later than they ought to have come in, because usually that stuff comes in much sooner. So that was kind of disappointing. I was a little disappointed with that. Especially after being used to having stuff. Pre-orders usually ship a week early and then tend to arrive by street date, or sometimes a day or two earlier than street date, which has always been kind of a nice incentive for pre-ordering directly, through Asmodee specifically. So I always thought that was a really fun kind of incentive for pre-ordering. Haven't been able to do that lately. And I didn't know if that was it's kind of changed this year. And I know that COVID and a lot of the protocols and everything that have had an impact. So there's limits to how demanding I am for, like, early pre-orders, and I think we all kind of have to set our expectations a little bit lower, and but lately it's been kind of interesting because a lot of stuff has shown up at different places, and it kind of started with X-Wing, and I'm going to get to Armada for sure, but it definitely started with X-Wing, where, like, my local store still does not have X-Wing's Wave 8. Still never got it in. Can you combine the old Armada sets and the new? Yeah. All the Armada stuff is completely compatible. It's one cohesive game. You can take clones versus, Empire or whatever. Yes, it's all compatible. The only stuff that is ruled out, there's 3 cards specifically that are, like, erased now. Strategic Advisor, Governor Price, and Bail Organa. Those are now, like, kind of part of the game's core rules, so those cards are no longer tournament legal, so you can't really use those anymore. All right, so, but no, yeah, my local game store still doesn't have X-Wing Wave 8. I know pre-orders shipped late, but I mean, I don't know how many people's stores still have those, or if how many people are still waiting on that stuff. It's been pretty interesting. Armada has been the next one that's been very strange. I had written to Asmodee to see about maybe getting, like, a review copy for Armada Clone Wars, and it looked like that was going to happen. That may be shipping now, but I also had a pre-order in, and I said, what, that's fine, because I wasn't going to order everything. Like, I had no need to get the dial upgrade pack, but that's part of what they had said they were going to send me. So I'm like, all right, well, now I can still do a review on that if they want to provide it to me. And I'll probably do a different kind of video based on whatever they send me as well. But my pre-order with Asmodee still hasn't shipped there, and I didn't mind, if they were going to send me a review copy of stuff and also have my pre-order in, because I knew I was going to want to get multiples of things. But then, Friday came, and my pre-order still hadn't shipped yet, but my local store got stuff in. And I was like, well, shoot, do I go buy everything from my local store and then also have a review copy and a pre-order? I don't need 3 of everything, so that's a little crazy. So, I had this weird thing of, like, all right, well, maybe if first off, I love to be able to support my local store. My local game store here in Orlando, Florida, is Sci-Fi City. Great store. They got a lot of product in stock, and they keep, X-Wing, Legion, Armada in stock. So if you're anywhere near Orlando, definitely look up Sci-Fi City. But if you are, if you pre-ordered any of the new Armada stuff, you don't need 3. I think you need 2. 3 would be fun for sure, but let's not forget we're getting a whole nother wave here in, like, next month, right? Probably-ish, next month-ish. And so, like, once that comes, you're going to have buyer's remorse on that. Like, well, shoot, do I really need 6 hard cells when now I've got all these other ships? You're not going to be able to use all of that in the same list. But 3 is fun, so, but yeah, I might have use for 3, but anyway, so I took a risk, and I said, all right, well, let me go ahead and buy a couple of things from my local game store. So I bought the starters and an upgrade card collection. Haven't even done the unboxing for that yet. It's been really busy and crazy around here, but that'll be coming up soon. While still waiting to find out what's going on with pre-orders. Now, here it is Sunday. Pre-orders still no shipping notice, no nothing for pre-orders. And it could be that maybe they shipped stuff without sending out tracking information. Like, that could be, but it's still coming in late, right? And a lot of other people, I've had so many people, I think almost probably everybody who pre-ordered from Asmodee has been leaving me comments on my videos and sending me messages and stuff. I'm like, hey, what's up? How did you get your stuff? How did you get your pre-order? I'm like, all right, so I wanted to clarify, the stuff I've been doing in my unboxings for Armada Clone Wars is not pre-order stuff. This was stuff from a local game store. And so I tried to call Asmodee customer service to talk about this and maybe see if we can just cancel my pre-order right now, and this I'll just buy the rest, whatever else I need from my local game store since they have it. but that went to voicemail. And this was during the week, during business hours, so nobody was, and I've emailed them and called them, so I don't know what's going on. I'm surprised that it would be kind of that things would be kind of going down like this. I don't know what's really what the delay is, but I just wanted everybody to know, like, we're all on the same sheet of music. It's not like I'm getting I'm getting pre-orders early and you guys aren't, or anything like that. Something is going on with their pre-order system or their shipping system that somehow doesn't affect shipping to distributors and retailers. So at least in some cases, retailers are getting less than what they ordered or nothing of what they ordered. So, like, it's a really weird situation right now that some people have it and some people don't. It doesn't feel fair, but again, we don't know the circumstances. We don't know what exactly is going on. Maybe there was a COVID outbreak at the shipping warehouse and they had to just suddenly stop, once they had a certain amount of product out. So Turtle MP3 says, I'm in Colorado, haven't seen any Armada ships in stores. Also, can you get the new ships? You can get the new ships on eBay. Yeah, I'm sure you can, because there's some people that will go out and buy everything that's in the store, knowing that there's, and that's the problem too, is like there's some people that will go out and just buy up everything and then just turn around and sell it all online and try and make a profit. But no, I'm not the type of person to do stuff like that, because I don't like having to go ship a whole bunch of things. It's a pain in the butt. And also, that'd be kind of jerky. There's other people around here that I want to have people to play with, My store got just enough product to fulfill my pre-order. I was the first to place the pre-order. Wow. That's rough. So yeah, they probably didn't get everything they ordered. I don't know why this is happening. My guess is that there was a big COVID outbreak in their shipping team or something like that, and everything kind of got held up for a couple of weeks. I mean, that is a possibility. But again, I don't know. I don't know if this has anything to do with atomic mass, but I mean, based on the comments that I'm seeing in chat, a lot of people are having the same problem. So are these delays for only X-Wing and Legion, or is Armada Clone Wars also not shipping? It seems very unusual for such a catastrophic oversight. Yeah, Armada is also not shipping. It has not shipped yet. I don't know anybody who has gotten an actual tracking number for their Armada pre-order that really should have shipped a week ago. So I don't know what's going on with that. And the other interesting thing is that the problems don't stop there. There's also the problems with England and them not being able. The UK is not able to get their stuff, or at least much less of their stuff. And Twilight Imperium, being completely out of stock. There's a weird thing going on with Asmodee right now where they make these social media posts advertising for a product that nobody can get. What I mean by that is they put like the limited edition Commander Hoth Luke Skywalker. Oh, try and get this from your local store now. And I'm like, no, we can't. Especially people outside of the United States have no way to get that unless they eBay it or something like that. And then Twilight Imperium, Prophecy of Kings was sold out like 2 weeks before it even came out. They don't have it on their website. You can't get it. Stores haven't gotten it. My store hasn't gotten it. I found one copy from Gigabytes in Georgia, Marietta, Georgia. Gigabytes Cafe. I ordered it from them 2 weeks ago. Hasn't shown up. Post office says they were still awaiting the item. So either it got lost, or whoever was supposed to take it to the post office decided, hey, this is the only copy in the country. I'm keeping it in my car. I'm going to bring it home and put it on eBay or something. I mean, that's not fair. I don't know that happened. I'm frustrated because, it was hard to find a copy, and having actually found one, bought it, and by the way, paid a lot more because they charged a decent amount for shipping. And full MSRP on a $100 game plus $25 for shipping or whatever. It's like almost $130, and my game is gone, and I'm probably never going to see it. So I'm a little frustrated, and I wouldn't have had to do that if Asmodee had actually shipped it to stores. If my store had just gotten a copy, I could have just bought it locally, supported my local store, and probably saved a little bit because Sci-Fi City usually gives you a little bit of a discount. So So I'm just seeing problems with like everything out of Fantasy Flight Games right now. Like everything. So it's really weird. Like something strange is going on. And so if you're whichever game you play, whether you're board games, mini games, it's all having some issues right now. And it's really unclear if this Atomic Mass Games changeover has anything to do with it. Because wouldn't that be weird, right? Like if they announce this change and all of a sudden the entire warehouse team kind of quits and out of protest. I don't think that happened. I haven't heard anything about that. But it's just wondering and seeing like the timing of all of this kind of happening in the same bubble is just it's very strange. And then for them not to even return emails or even answer phones, I have no idea what's going on. So if you're out there, if you're wondering what's going on, if you thought you're the only one, I just wanted to at least let you guys know that it's you're not the only ones that are having a problem with this. You got a track. All right, hold on. Here's interesting. Thomas says you finally got your tracking number yesterday. Tracking number for what specifically? Thomas, if you're seeing this, and there's a little delay between me seeing the comments and giving it back to you, but I'm curious what you ordered, and how much of each. If it was like a really big order or a small order or just a partial order or whatever. I wonder if any of these things are, and how early did you place your order too? Because I think I ordered mine back in July, when I pre-ordered all my Armada stuff. No, it was not long after they initially announced it. I just said I wanted to lock in, make sure I get at least one of everything. So, Star Trek Attack Wing players have waited over a year for some of their pre-orders, and they still are getting more and more delays. Wow, that's surprising. You ordered the card pack and 2 of each squadron and both starters in September. Okay, that's similar to what I ordered. Like my pre-order was 1 of everything except the dial pack. And I know I was going to want more than 1 of everything, but at least that would get me kind of started, and we'd kind of go from there. I pre-ordered Armada through my local store in California. It's apparently on the truck right now, so hopefully we'll see it Monday. Yeah, so what next, right? That's the big question. I imagine if trends hold true, you should definitely be getting tracking numbers this week. If you don't, it may be time to call. I mean, granted, you could try calling, but I think if everybody's calling them, you're going to overload their phone lines. Maybe there'll be a social media post. If they put out any news about it, like a public statement about it, I'll be sure to disseminate that to you guys. But I know a lot of people are really waiting for their pre-order. I guess it would be problematic, especially if you were planning some kind of like get together. If you were planning a game this weekend, and you wanted to, have your pre-order. Street date was Friday, so you were like, hey, we should have everything Friday so we can play this weekend. Or if this was a Christmas gift or Hanukkah gift or something, or some kind of holiday gift for somebody, and you were hoping to have that all set. Now you're probably wondering, shoot, am I going to have gifts for under the tree for my loved ones? Or for myself. Sometimes, have you ever bought yourself a Christmas gift and then wrapped it and put it under the tree? So I think there's a lot of concern there. Is this even going to make it in time for Christmas if I did the thing that they want me to do and pre-ordered? I have a little bit of I guess an issue with pre-orders being the last ones to get their product, because it's like, don't they want us to pre-order? Shouldn't there be incentive to pre-order? And I feel like there used to be. I remember once upon a time, like if you pre-ordered Legion, you would get like some kind of special insert, like I don't know if it was a poster or something like that. I didn't do it, but yeah, it was like there were incentives. And then once upon a time, when you pre-ordered, they would ship your stuff early. I remember some things I got almost a week early. And for me, especially wanting to do unboxings and bring you guys early content, because what I really like to do is have an unboxing updated even before the street date. So people who are on the fence trying to decide whether or not they want to get it have the opportunity to go ahead and kind of look at that and say, hey, is this something that I really need? And that's I think what part of the value that I try to be able to add. So yeah, I'm really curious. I don't know what's going on, but if you are, again, if you're just joining us later, we've been talking about all the pre-order delays. It seems like everything pre-orders are shipping way later than they used to. If they are even shipping at all. With Armada Clone Wars, still pre-orders haven't shipped yet for a lot of people, including myself. And I was an early pre-order. I think I pre-ordered as soon as it was announced, or at least the week that it was announced, back at the end of, I think it said I pre-ordered it in July, which would have had to have been the last day of July. So maybe it was the first day it was announced is when I pre-ordered, maybe. But yeah, that's, I can't imagine, why things wouldn't have shipped yet. Not FFG game related questions. Have you ever played Dice Throne? I'm trying to think of that one. There's so many games that have the word dice in them. I've played Dice City. I have Dice Forge right here. I played Dice Forge several times. I don't think I've played Dice Throne. I don't think so. I don't think I've played Dice Throne. All right, so with that being said, I'm curious. I know there's a couple of copies of Twilight Imperium, Prophecy of Kings that are out there. Man, I'm really itching to get my hands on that too. That's the one thing. So I want to know from you guys, like, what is the one thing, like, let's say COVID were over, next week, and like vaccines were for everybody, and all of a sudden, like, the whole world opened up again like old times. You could go out, plan a game night with all your friends, or go to a game store, have gatherings again. What's the first game that you would play? I think for me, it would probably be Twilight Imperium. Even though Armada Clone Wars just came out and stuff, like, it's possible to get Armada games in because that's a one-on-one game, so it's possible to, for somebody in your circle to do that. But I have an 8-player game or a 6 to 8 player game of Star Wars Legion. Of Twilight Imperium. It's not so easy to do that, right? It's pretty, unless you can play it online with Tabletop Simulator or something like that. But I can't possibly. There's no way, because TTS. I can't sit in my computer chair logged into the internet for 16 hours and just no. I live in the St. Louis area. A miniature market had mine shipped on Saturday. All right, so I guess, yeah, it depends. I wonder if it, and for those of you who do have a tracking number, who did you pre-order through? Did you pre-order from Asmodee directly, or did you pre-order from a reseller like Miniature Market, or from your local game store, or from some online store like Cool Stuff, or something like that? Because I wonder if the common link is anybody who pre-ordered through Asmodee hadn't gotten it, because that's exceptionally strange, considering they don't give you any discounts, and almost every other online retailer gives you some kind of a discount. Like Miniature Market usually knocks off like 5 to 10%, or something like that. I think the highest they're allowed to go is 15%, depending on where. Thomas, yours was through Asmodee, and you do have a tracking number, right? That's interesting. So apparently, they've started shipping out some. And I'm also curious, Thomas, when did you get your tracking number? Eric, I pre-ordered through Asmodee, and I have my tracking number. Just left U.S. shipping facility. So I'm assuming today. All right. No shipping notification from somebody else through Asmodee. Yeah. I wonder, maybe they could just have like one person doing everything. Like that, in theory, that could be the case, and that would be why it's slowly trickling out. I don't know how many pre-orders they have for something like a release like this for Armada, but like, imagine, if you will, as a case where like a lot of people are home with COVID or whatever, and you've got like one new person, and they got to take a van and drop stuff off to UPS, and they can get like, they got to box everything up, create shipping labels, drop it all off to UPS, enter all the tracking number in the computer, send out all the emails. They're probably only getting like maybe 3 truckloads done in a whole day, right? Like, depending on how much computer work there is with processing and shipping out all these pre-orders. If they're by themselves and they got to package everything up too, like, I don't know how many people they have doing it, and maybe they're maybe that's one of the good things about Atomic Mass Games taking over stuff like this. Maybe they're actually going to be able to have a facility to treat stuff like a global business, right? Because one of the criticisms I've heard some people say of Fantasy Flight games is because they were such a small company years and years ago. Once they've really blown up, they never really started acting like a global company. They still kind of always acted like a small business. And that, when you have a massively high demand product like this whole new wave of Armada Clone Wars, it's probably going to take a lot of coordination to get that shipped out. So it does seem like at least a select few people have gotten tracking numbers. So it's going to be interesting. I think the big takeaway is I hope everything arrives by Christmas or whatever holiday event, maybe a birthday. Some of us have December birthdays, like this guy. But yeah, I don't think FFG knew the big Clone Wars was going to make Legion, X-Wing, and Armada. Oh, I think they knew. I'm going to angle a little bit. Let's get some more of the games in the background. There we go. I'm centered now. We got some more games back here, right? See Star Trek Ascendancy back there? See Twilight Imperium down there? Gosh, I miss Twilight Imperium. I miss playing that so much. Oh, well, I hope my expansion shows up. That's the other thing that really annoys me is that when a package just gets lost, and like, what's the other? There's nothing they can do about it. There was only one copy. The store only had one copy of my Twilight Imperium expansion. And this is me just griping. This is just a personal problem that I have. But I located one copy of that expansion. And nobody knows where it went. But sure as heck I got billed for it. I sure as heck got billed for it. And got billed like $20-something for shipping. But it's gone. It's gone. I'll never see it. So I'm frustrated, man. I'm so frustrated. The other thing is, I guess it's a first world problem. I have to acknowledge that. Look, I'm very grateful for all the things I have. I'm grateful, shipping can be delayed or whatever. It's really not the end of the world. If these are the things that get me down or get you down or whatever, your life's probably okay. There is people who, that have real problems, right? These are first world problems. So, and so I say all that knowing that look, if you've got a roof over your head, if you can call or see or hug your loved ones, if you got food, if you're in relatively good health, you probably got a good life. And so, these are small potatoes in the big picture, but still they're frustrating, right? We live in a world where you pre-order something, you order it online, you pay for it, you get billed, and that's the other thing too is like. In all of these cases, all of you guys who haven't gotten a tracking number or you should have had it over a week ago, who still don't have any kind of shipping notice or tracking number, I am sure they probably billed you. Check your credit card statements. I'm guessing, I'm putting stuff away here before things get lost. I'm guessing you have been billed. I know I have been billed for everything. So, that's frustrating. But what are you going to do about it? There's not much we can do. Hey, my what? I don't even know what that means. Yeah, you shouldn't be getting billed until something ships out with tracking. Yeah, well, that's fine, but at least in one case, I've got tracking and for the Twilight Imperium, and it's the post office is just like, okay, we're waiting for it to show up at the post office, and they're like, we already dropped it off at the post office, and I'm like, somebody do something. I'm not in your state. I can't just go up to the post office and say, where is this package? Oscars asks, did you see the new episode of The Mandalorian? Yes, I did. And tomorrow night, good segue. Tomorrow night is Monday night. We'll be doing Mando Chat. We're going to talk all about it. My guest is going to be my buddy Sean Abbott, who is featured in a lot of my battle reports and from the Double Crit podcast. If you guys ever, I've also had a lot of people asking me about, well, hey, when's the next double critical? When's the next double crit? So here's what's going on with that. I talked about it to a couple of people. There was apparently a gaming company. They've made like a card game on Kickstarter or a deck of cards or something like that. They're kind of a smaller gaming company that had the same name of Double Critical. I'm not sure if it was exactly or if it was Double Critical Games or whatever, but it wasn't Double Critical Podcast. But was apparently too similar. So what they did is they wrote Podbean a letter and said, hey, this guy is hurting my intellectual property, you know. And without letting me know, Podbean just erased my podcast. They made the entire URL and all of the files and everything just error 404, file not found. This does not exist anymore. Somebody just dragged over everything, hold shift and hit delete. Everything wiped out. They did not email me that. They did not say anything to me about it. And they continued to bill me because I had the premium hosting, so I could have more than 2 episodes of a podcast. It was like $10 a month or something. It wasn't outrageous, but it was kind of high considering I didn't make any money off of that. I didn't have any way to, and I wasn't running ads on it or whatever. But they are, it's something that when you're a podcast platform, you want people to host podcasts. So by having podcasts on your platform, that's good for you. So that you have, so really it was helping them. I don't know why they even billed me in the first place, but they billed me, and then kept billing me after they deleted my podcast, and it didn't even exist anymore. Now I didn't even know because I didn't go try to listen to my own podcast over and over again, and we were on a little bit of a hiatus. We had some computer difficulties. Stuff was in for repair. We couldn't record for a couple of months. So I decided to go there one day, and I'm like, this isn't here. It's down. It's 404. Oh, well, maybe it's just down for maintenance. A couple weeks later, it's still down, and I finally emailed them. I'm like, is there a reason that my podcast has been down for over a month? And they're like, oh, yeah. Somebody said it was a copyright thing. And I'm like, when were you going to tell me? And then I checked my statements. Why did you keep billing me after, they had just billed me a week ago, and it had been down for over a month. So I won't ever do business with Podbean again. I don't like to swear, but if I did, I would drop a big F-bomb in the direction of Podbean. So I even went and said, all right, well, let me just change the name. I can change it to Double Crit, right? Just let me change the name. And they just ignored me from that. They basically put me on ignore. And I was totally polite with them, but they didn't have anything else to say to me after that. And then they still kept trying to bill me, even though I went in there and now my account is banned because I turned off, I disabled my credit card information, so this way they wouldn't bill me again. And then when the next cycle came around, they're like, hey, your account's about to be banned if you don't log in and put some new payment information in here. I'm like, what the hell am I going to pay you for? I don't have a podcast with you. You erased it, So Podbean is a bag of farts. Kind of like daylight savings time is a bag of farts. We need to get rid of daylight savings time. I haven't been mentioning that in my videos lately. You know what? That's a sign that I'm starting to get used to the chime adjustment, and I hate that. I hate that we have to change our clocks twice a year. Anyway, all right. So let's see. You pre-ordered from your FLGS with 5% on. They sent you a message that the 2 core sets are on the way and the 6 squadrons are shipped apart. Okay. Wow, 6 squadron packs. That's a lot. Phase 2 clones took 3 weeks before shipping. Yeah. So now I'm curious about the delays with ordering stuff that's not a pre-order. Like if you just want to buy a game that's in stock right now, I don't usually do that. I usually go through Amazon if it's something that my local stores don't have, because Amazon ships right away. Maybe Double Critical could be resurrected on YouTube. Yeah, that is the plan. It'll probably come back as just Double Crit because I don't want any more, nonsense with oh, that's my name. And it's a generic term. It's not a name. They're the first persons to ever come up with a Double Critical. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's frustrating. There's a lot of first world problems here. So basically, I'm hoping that Asmodee starts shipping their Armada pre-orders. Hopefully, I'll have more things because I didn't pick up the squadron packs yet because I don't know if my pre-order is still going to get processed. I sent in the request to cancel it. If you're look, if you guys aren't going to ship this, I'll just get it from my local store, and at a discount and save some money. So if you're not going to ship it, then please cancel my pre-order. So we'll see what happens, because my guess is they'll still ship it, since they're not answering phones right now. That they'll ship it anyway, and then they'll get to my email like, oh, we're sorry, we can't refund you because or we can't cancel your pre-order because your pre-order has already shipped. I'm like, okay, yeah, but I sent you that email like 2 weeks ago, So I guess we'll have to see. I guess we'll see what happens. Again, it's a first world problem. I'm really just happy that that Armada's still alive, that we still have games to play. Hopefully, I guess this could be worse too. Like, imagine if COVID wasn't a thing this year and we had like a tournament this weekend or like a big game day at our local store, and you were hoping to show up with all your with your new fleets, and now you can't, or like one person got their stuff and nobody else did. Like that'd be really frustrating if you were planning on going to a tournament or something like that and your stuff just never shipped, so you can't. When are the Aces Arcs going to come back in stores? Arcs like Arc 170s? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, things always come back in stock. Usually it takes, a couple of months, 6 months tops usually for reprints to happen. So, still waiting on your ETA 2 pre-order. Did you pre-order from Asmodee? Because my pre-order showed up from Asmodee. I ordered one of each of the new X-Wing Wave 8 ships. They each all showed up, but again, they're about a week late because, things are shipping later. But even so, I should have, because I got my tracking number the Friday of the street date with X-Wings Wave 8. But at least in the case of Armada, that was supposed to have shipped, far enough before the street dates, enough that it could potentially arrive by street date. But it didn't even ship yet, and that street date was Friday. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Got a cool, fun new battle report coming up for Legion. It's already available early on Patreon. So if those of you who are patrons, we got a new battle report up there, and that's a Rebel versus Rebel mirror match. So that'll be a fun one. It's new points for Legion and a lot of changes for Legion. So it's kind of given a whole new life to the game, since so many units had points adjustments. Army composition is different now, so you can do a lot of things that you couldn't have done before. And also for you Armada players out there, if you're waiting on pre-order, one of the things you can do is check out Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder, which is updated for Armada Clone Wars. So you can go on there and start building out some fleets a while. And if you donate to Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder, you're going to be able to save your fleets, which is nice. Plus, I mean, dude did a whole lot of work to get this ready on time, so I think he's earned it. So you could definitely consider doing something like that. If you guys are interested in getting any holiday shopping, I think there's still time left. If you guys want to order any shirts or masks or the Bad Dice Prison, which is a super fun bag that you can put your dice in, and when they roll blanks on you, put them in there. Oh, I'm dropping things. Bring them in warm, or you can bring them in cold. But it's pretty cool. It's basically dice on carbonite, right? And they're dice that are actually the same dice kind of profile that could work with any Fantasy Flight game. So this actually makes for a really cool gift for a gamer friend of yours. And they're great stocking stuffers. They fold up. It's a cloth bag. You can also use this for your tokens for Legion. And it works too. Every time I've put dice in there that have been rolling blanks, I leave them in there for about 5 minutes. I pull them out and then they roll better. So you can teach your dice a lesson. But yes. Disclaimer though, I will not take credit for dice that continue to roll blanks. I will, however, encourage you to put them back in there. They obviously haven't learned their lesson yet. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff down in if you check the video description below, we've got a lot of new shirts and masks and the different faction symbols as well. You can get phone covers. We got socks now. The Chimera is on socks as well as t-shirts and stuff and masks and stuff like that. How many of you guys think we're going to see Grand Admiral Thrawn in The Mandalorian? I don't. I think at the look, I don't want to talk too much Mandalorian, but here's my prediction. whenever they get around to the final episode of the season, I think the season finale is going to kind of end with a Star Destroyer kind of flying overhead, and I think we're going to see the Chimera paint job on the bottom of it. I think they're going to tease the Chimera, but not actually Grand Admiral Thrawn. I think they're going to do that so this way they have a whole season to cast him. I don't think they have an actor lined up for Thrawn yet, and that's if they even do that. It's if they even do that, because I think Thrawn honestly serves better to be in a whole different show. And honestly, how many of you guys are ready for an animated show right now? I mean, like, I'm ready for another animated show. I'm rewatching Rebels in the evenings right now, and I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. I streamed that the other day. I've been kind of working my way through it a little bit more. I'm having fun with Baldur's Gate 3. Beautiful game, man. Beautiful, beautiful game. It's just a theory, a show theory, yeah? Of course it is. It's all just theory. But, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I've got some things to do. But I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Let's keep an eye on our email, check for those tracking numbers, and check out some of the recent videos I've been posting. If you haven't already, I've got some X-Wing unboxings, some Armada unboxings, more to come. We'll talk to you guys. What do you think? Well, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this week's episode of The Mandalorian until tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you so much. And as always, have a great day.